Well, all right. Welcome to my lead generation and sales mastery course focused on permission-based sales and marketing online in this new normal. This is Coach Lois. Excited to have you here. Make sure you take copious notes. Stay through the end. Enjoy that call to action and motivational story to help you catapult your income to 5 figures a month with permission-based selling and my tactics and tricks and strategies that are going to take you and your family and your health and wealth and wisdom to the next level this year. Okay, hey guys, it's Lois Kofi. Welcome to my 5-day lead generation and sales mastery. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your lead generation and online sales mastery life. We see a year ago at the time of this recording, it's February of 2021, right here, right now. You might be watching this at a later date. But I was not prepared for the pandemic. I was definitely not an online lead generation person at all. In fact, I was more of the face-to-face, belly-to-belly variety. And so I had to start all over. So I've taught a few courses along the way, some on list building, and I discovered that people still are stuck on the actual lead generation process and mastering that. They can't build a list successfully if they can't first start with that foundational principles of lead generation. And so I wanted to pull out all the stops, create this course to really, for the first time, share the good, the bad, the ugly of my experience from 2020 and get really real with you guys. And so the hope is that I'll bring you encouragement, inspiration, and much, much more. Tactics, strategy, all of the things. I'm going to pour into you over the course of these next 5 hours, give or take. It may not be 5 hours and it might be just over. So we'll see where the spirit leads me, right? And if you're stumbling upon this and you're like, hey, I didn't see this, how do I get in? Sign up at loiscofi.com/get leads. You're also, I'm just going to go over some housekeeping reminders, some basic commitments, and dive right into the content. If you're not already inside of my Healthy and Wealthy and Wise community, get there. In my Facebook community is where I am going to be actually having live Q&A at the time of this recording and be able to answer your questions, because this is definitely a one-to-many training, not a one-on-one coaching situation. However, for those of you who are early adopters and part of my first filming, I want you to get your questions answered. So please join my Healthy and Wealthy and Wise Facebook community. It's right here at this website, healthyandwealthyandwise.com, so that you can jump in. Otherwise, go to Facebook, look for Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. It's just easier to go to my website. Definitely want you guys to have your mindsets ready for this course. This is not something nice that I just want you to take and get warm and fuzzy and not take action. So there is a call to action and a very powerful bring it home, bring it all together story at the end of each training. So from start to finish, that's why I'm really going to do my best to keep this to 30 to 40 minutes each day. One day might go longer towards the end. However, I really want to keep this short and sweet so that you have time to complete the call to action at the end, and maybe even consume this one more time, minimum, right? Because the more you put into anything, guys, the more you're going to get out of it, right? It's like anything in life. And if you're like me, I have probably bought every personal development book, course, especially last year, right? I was like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? Email and funnels and landing pages and stuff. I don't want you to throw an investment of time. And if you're purchasing this on the back end, I don't want you to throw away your money. And time is actually more valuable than money because you can't get that back. So I have 3 key things that I want you to do right here, right now at the beginning of this course. These are important, guys, because I do not want you to go through this and not take action, not follow through. And actually, one of the worst things that has happened is people don't finish the course, right? You got to finish what you start. This is not like a buffet. You just tune into one session and not the other. I very strategically, day 1, day 2 builds on day 1, day 3 builds on day 2, day 4, so on and so forth. So really make this commitment. And that's where I want to start. Here are, and I'm not going to have you raise your right hand and swear on a Bible or Quran, whatever. I want you to be able to really just check in. As Zig Ziglar says, check up from the neck up. Maybe even write it down if this helps you. I don't have a document or anything that says I'm committed to, committing to completing this course or what. I'm going to go through those things right here, right now that I want you to commit to. So number 1, are you committed to getting inside of the Facebook community so you can attend the Q&A? I am going to gamify it, guys. I am giving away $500 worth of free coaching at the end of this. If you show up, show out, you fill in the pre-survey, the post-survey, you show up to my Monday, Wednesday, Friday Facebook group. I'm gamifying it for you. It actually takes more time for me, but I want you to get the best out of this, the best result. Are you committed to setting aside time to do your call to action and working on generating those 100 leads? Oh, by the way, that's at the very least, the number 1 end result I want you to have is generating 100 leads. And then, of course, getting into the habit of that, right? We're about developing habits for your success. Are you committed to taking copious notes? And I would actually encourage you to write them down and not type it. I actually have a podcast guest who's going to talk about the soul of handwriting, how important it is for us to still write with pen to paper. Are you committed to getting outside of your comfort zone? This is not meant for, again, just a warm and fuzzy inspirational dopamine hit. And I'm not coming down hard on you because I don't know what you might be thinking, but I really don't want you to not get out of this what I know is possible. Because remember, guys, I went from $0 a month to 5 figures a month in online sales and marketing with what I'm teaching you over the course of the next 5 days. This course is meant to shift your paradigm, enhance your life using permission-based selling and marketing in the new normal, and what I had major awakenings on last year. My goal is to show up for you at a level 10 every single day. If you think about a level 10 or a scale from 1 to 10, I'm not going to be here just really low energy and just kind of winging it, right? I'm pouring my heart out to you. I'm going to bare my soul. I'm going to share with you amazing things. And I want you to take it to heart. I want you to show up at a level 10 in your commitment. So write that down. What level are you going to show up at? A 7, a 8, a 9, a 10? A 10 out of 10 basically means you're all in. You're sold out. You're going to watch every hour at least once, maybe twice. You're going to show up, show out in the Facebook community, ask questions inside there. I'd rather you do that than send me a private message. And I will have visible posts. I'll even talk about the call to action. And if you're watching this on the Evergreen, there's all sorts of other things coming your way as well. So don't feel like you missed out. The next step, after you've committed to whatever level you're going to be going in at, is belief. Do you believe you can do this? It's one of the reasons it's one of the first chapters in Think and Grow Rich, right? Do you believe you can attain the goal of generating 100 leads this week? That's my goal. If you come up with another number, that's fine. Remember, if you believe it and you conceive it in your mind and your heart's desire, we'll talk about that too, and talk about manifestation and all of that. We're going to talk about all of that over this week. Do you have belief in yourself, belief in lead generation? Do you have faith? Do you have desire? I put all of those kind of together with belief because they're all part of, what the mind can conceive and believe it can surely achieve. So believe in yourself, believe in lead generation, and believe anything is possible. Last but not least is trust the process. Now, I don't have a lot of time to waste. I'm going to share with you the process, my 4-step proven formula, which I'll get to in just a second. I'm going to share with you everything that has, brought me again from that 0 to hero, 5 figures a month, serving people with joy, passion, and finding my happiness amidst grief and loss and uncertainty. Now, keep in mind, it's not all about the money. I want you to write down a personal and professional goal that you want to accomplish this year. We're going to get to that in a minute. And if you trust the process and take action on it, actions follow trust and words, right? I never believe someone's words. I believe more their actions, right? Those speak louder. I have had clients, guys, take this information and change their life in 24 hours and then go on becoming successful, hitting financial and sales goals in the first 60 days as they applied. They first had to trust the process, trust me, trust the formula, and apply it. That's why I started with don't just show up to have a warm and fuzzy. I don't want that for you. I want for you to have results, whatever that looks like. Could be a mindset shift. Hopefully it's a lead generation shift. Hopefully it's increase in income. I want to help you create a life by design and not feel like you're in Groundhog Day or on a hamster wheel of autopilot. I want you to have an internal shift. So I want to share with you what I'm going to really cover today. Today is entitled Permission-Based Sales and Marketing. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't really think about that. I read a book with that same title years ago. Actually, the book is almost 2 decades old. And I didn't realize that that's what I was doing in the here and in the now, right? So I want to be able to educate you on what permission-based marketing is today. I'm also going to share with you, and this is something that is, part of my 6-month journey last year in success and transformation. I'm going to share with you my Ko-fi sales formula, and it's going to be kind of scattered through in and every day. Today, we will be talking about how to have the mindset of a fearless sales champion. We're going to talk about how do you create and spend your time more wisely and possibly create leverage through outsourcing and or duplication. Everything I teach you here is duplicatable, guys. Everything I teach you here can be outsourced to a virtual assistant. I've done it and it changed my life. We're going to master, or at least start to master, online lead generation and prospecting. What do you do in this new normal to master that online lead generation? And then so much so that you can outsource it if you choose to. And of course, I'm going to talk about, how in permission-based marketing and sales do you stay top of mind, all of that. Ultimately, how will you be heard and seen and paid this year through your tribe? In my other course, Let's Build with Lois, I talk about building your tribe through email. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Okay, so we're going to kind of cover all of your options. However, under all of that, no matter whether it was email, whether it was YouTube, whether it was Facebook, LinkedIn, however you get people into your CRM, which, oh, by the way, I saw quite a few people who did their survey. Thank you so much for filling that out. The pre-course survey that said, what's a CRM? So client relationship management system, which is a leads database management system. You can't not have one. So if you don't have one, talk to me. I will be training on that over the course of the week. But permission-based sales and marketing messaging was the best way underlying that I built a tribe that saw me, heard me, resonated with me, and gave me money. Okay? And if you think of sales, or like I did, I was really negative, guys, about online sales. If you've ever seen the movie Glengarry Glen Ross, it's old school. We're talking early 90s, not that I'm dating myself here. But if you think of sales like that Coffee is for Closers, Alec Baldwin episode, if you can handle vulgarity, go check it out. It's really quite alarming, quite profound, of the used car sales approach, the spammy approach. Think about it. Have you in the last year noticed, as have I, the uptick, like massive uptick in people saying, buy from me, spamming me, sending me messages that have links and all of these things without my permission? And unfortunately, that happens in a pandemic or a recession, and now everybody's online because they can't be out in the world, right? In this new normal. And they're coming from a place of fear. They're coming from a place of scarcity, lack, whatever you want to call it. And I believe they haven't been trained properly. And that's what this class is for. Please refer it to your friends. If you get one of those messages, one of those slimy used car sales type messages, right? Say, hey, I have a friend you should talk to. Her name is Lois. I've actually done that. I've actually received some of those and said, hey, maybe we should talk. How is that working for you? Because I don't think it's working. I think you're leaving money on the table. I think you're pissing people off. And you never know what that person is going through. So I want to teach you to come from a place of abundance versus scarcity and lack. Part of my mission, if this is the first time you've ever heard me, is to help you think differently, which correlates directly to your actions, right? Thoughts are things. Things can be changed, and you got to start there. I have a special guest this week who specializes in subconscious mind, removing limiting beliefs and blocks. I don't do that specifically. I have tactics and strategy on how, because I have those. I grew up with a lot of scarcity and lack and negativity. So I had to do a lot of changing my thoughts. And your actions, if you believe online sales are not for you and you don't like it and it's annoying, then guess what your result's going to be? You're going to have very few leads. You're going to have very few sales, or maybe you had an awesome year last year, but you didn't maybe make as many online sales as you wanted to, and you want to take it to the next level, because we might have different audiences here. That's okay. I got to tell you, mastering online sales, and I'm still mastering it. I'm not a guru, okay? I just have had a lot of success, and I want that for you. Especially if you haven't hit 5 figures a month. I want that for you. Okay. My ultimate vision here, and then we're going to dive right into the next topic. I want to help heal the sales community. I want to equip you coming from a spiritual service-based mindset and creating limitless leads in online sales. And if you master this online and this lead generation permission-based sales and marketing messaging, it's going to duplicate in offline. It's going to help you create a limitless life to be experiencing your best health, your best wealth, and ultimately what I want for you, and I believe it's the true American dream. You may not be from America because I have a huge, I've got people in like 20 different time zones signing up for this course. I want you to work smarter, not harder. And we're going to talk about your vision here in a second. So that's what we're going to cover today. I'm really excited to take things to the next level for you guys. So let's roll up our sleeves, and I want to share with you why permission-based marketing. Why permission-based marketing? So if you've never heard of that, first I want to define it for you. Permission-based marketing and selling messaging allows the consumer, your customer, your prospects that are out there, to basically opt in. They choose to be your friend on Facebook. They choose to be in your email list. They choose to be connected inside of your Facebook community or your LinkedIn group. They're definitely more likely to stick around, especially if you create value. I believe and have experienced personally, guys, because I don't teach on Facebook ads or Google ads. Okay, just throwing that out there. I don't. Even though I did it in a past life, I don't do cold calling anymore. I do permission-based selling and marketing. It encourages prospects and customers to engage in a long-standing, deep, meaningful, cooperative marketing campaign. It's not like did you guys see the commercial in the Super Bowl this year where the guy was almost like in a straitjacket, tied to a chair, and they picked a really slimy looking dude. It was really dark in this car dealership, and he's got like the jumper cables, and he's like lighting them up. You can see the sparks, and he's like, all right, which car are you going to buy? You're not holding people hostage. You're not spamming them. You're not having them come in without some kind of value. So traditional methods of marketing and Super Bowl commercials actually are a great example. It's more like mass media or TV commercials, right? It's cold. It's interruptive. Why do you think people have converted to like Netflix and Hulu and all of those? Because the commercials, well, actually now they're back again. They found a way to get back, right? Depending on what kind of membership you have. But you can binge watch episodes without commercials. I remember growing up as a kid that there would be all these commercials and I'd be like, I guess it gives me an opportunity to go to the bathroom, right? But it was interrupting my fun. Do you want to be that person interrupting people's fun on Facebook, LinkedIn, or cold email? It's basically, that's where I call the scarcity, right? Is people are trying to just either buy a bunch of leads, throw spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks without a plan. And I want you to walk away this week with a plan. You're not trying to just get people's attention because people are overloaded, right? There was a study by Yankelovich Incorporated claimed that the average consumer comes into contact with 1 million advertisements per year. And that might be dated information because that was in the early 2000s. So nearly 3,000 ads per day. When you think of Facebook ads, when you think of Amazon, you think of the artificial intelligence out there studying what you are buying. Does it ever just feel kind of weird and scary when you buy something on Amazon and then all of a sudden you get all these emails? Hey, buy this. It's the same thing you bought on Amazon, right? Happens on Facebook. So when there's an overflow of that to people, they can disregard you. They can tune you out. They can refuse to respond to you. Have you ever been ghosted on Facebook or social media? That can be very costly. You can lose people. There's a book called The Speed of Trust. Trust takes time. And that's what permission-based marketing and messaging does so well. So there's a book, the book I talked about earlier, called Permission Marketing, Turning Strangers into Friends and Friends into Customers. It's really important that you have this mindset. If you remember my Ko-fi sales formula, the first step is mindset. And I know people sometimes are like, I've been there, done that. I get it. It's all about mindset, Lois. But I want you to really understand and let it land right here in your heart and understanding you don't want to be that slimy, non-permission based marketer. You're going to waste a lot of time, lose a lot of money, and possibly sleep. If you can't pay your bills, if you don't know where you're going to get the money to pay for your mortgage because your sales are down, hopefully that consequence is big enough, right? So Seth Godin, he also wrote not only this book, the permission marketing book, he also wrote the book Tribes, right? And he observed that successful campaigns were the ones, and this is marketing campaigns, the ones that sought the customer's consent. It's a consensual relationship, right? People will anticipate your product or service information. It feels more personal. That'll be part of your call to action today, is how can you personalize it? It'll feel more relevant. I'm going to say that again. So number one, people are anticipating your email or your message or your service, your product, your offer. It feels more personal, like you really care about them and been listening to what they have to say. That's why I asked for a survey at the beginning. Do you survey your list or survey your friends or your connections, your prospects, and ask them what they want, right? And then it's relevant information that applies to them. It's not like the train tracks, the longer you live by the train tracks, you don't hear them anymore. You don't want that, right? So here are some other benefits of permission-based marketing and messaging and building the trust and rapport, planting those seeds, watering them, and see them grow. It's cost effective. Permission marketing employs low cost tools. Social media, for the most part, is free. Email, that's why I have a list build email course. It's mostly free. You have to have an email system or a CRM database, a client relationship leads management database. But it's only marketing to people who want to opt in. Because remember, and this is why I teach email campaigns are so valuable, because Facebook could shut you down. LinkedIn, your account could get hacked or shut down. You got to have some kind of leads database and CRM to capture all of those leads. And those may not be exactly free. I can share with you some low affordable ones, because I've been there, done that with ClickFunnels, Infusionsoft. Very expensive, right? I'm not putting those down. They're amazing companies. However, I know a lot of people, if you want to be an expert at what you do and you want to sell, to take on the technology, that's a whole nother thing, right? So I can help you make that much simpler. So if you have the ability to have these tools and not spend a lot of money on Facebook ads or Google ads or hiring a lot of people, like I was spending, roughly $3,000 a month at one point at the early part of last year, because I didn't know any better, right? In fact, there's a joke inside of Seth Godin's book said by a Catholic bishop based in New York. If Jesus Christ was walking the earth today, I am convinced he would have an email address and an email list. And if you think about Amazon, they started with low price books. You don't have to have really expensive stuff that you offer via email. But once people bought a book, there was follow-up emails, right? And look at where Amazon is today. Same thing even with travel companies. I get emails still from Expedia, Travelocity, all of the places that I've ever, subscribed to their list. And did you know an email list of 1,000 can make you $1 million over your business lifetime? And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to be a huge list. And this week, I want you to just generate 100 leads. When you have their permission, there's a higher conversion rate. You're going a mile deep. Again, you don't have to go super wide, as that audience, they've expressed interest in your product or your list or your tribe, and that can convert into sales. I went from 0 online sales to inbox money almost every other day in a short period of time with the principles that I'm teaching you. Permission marketing also allows businesses to run personalized campaigns. It allows them to target specific audiences based on their age, gender. You can do all that research as you build your list and have permission to do so. And then, of course, through all the interaction, whether you do social media and email or clubhouse or whatever your sandbox is that you go in, over time you drip on them, right? You've probably heard of drip campaigns. And it's like Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Prospects don't feel uncomfortable because remember, if they feel discomfort, if they feel confused, they won't buy. And I overcame the hurdle into, breaking that mindset and getting into this kind of marketing after I did all the things, right? I was trying to make phone calls, juggling all the things, trying to get appointments the old-fashioned way. I then started spending a lot of money in copywriting. I'll tell more of my story later. But permission-based marketing is what helped me come resuscitate my business. I want you to write this down. When you have purpose and meaning and frequency with permission-based marketing, that's what's going to create opportunity. When you have purpose and meaning and frequency with your permission-based marketing, and you can hit the pause button on the recording. When you have purpose and meaning in permission-based marketing and frequency, you will attract or create opportunity. You're turning strangers into friends, into customers. I'm going to say that again because to me it's such a beautiful phrase. You're turning strangers into friends, into customers. I also like to say it's a great analogy because I've coached thousands of people in running and fitness. Sports is kind of my thing. And when you think of all the greatest of all time, they had a dream, right? They had a vision. They had a passion. I'm going to finish with another story and a call to action at the end that really embodies that. Training for a marathon, you have to learn foundational bricks, right? This course is going to teach you the foundational bricks. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon, guys. So I'm going to give you what to do every day. We're definitely going to cover more of that tomorrow. And frequency, consistency. While not sexy and exciting, Jim Rohn always said, major and minor things, Lois. Major and minor things. It's just like brushing your teeth, drinking lots of water, the foundational principles for your health, right? Michael Jordan, he wasn't an immediate success, right? So if you're like thinking, gosh, Lois, well, you did it, but I don't know if I can do it. Think about him. He couldn't even convince his high school coach to play him. But he went out and he practiced over and over and over again, consistency, frequency, and eventually he became the GOAT, right? The greatest of all time. I believe that about you. You can be the GOAT of your industry, whatever it is you're selling, whether you're a coach, a speaker, a network marketer, insurance, real estate. I know we have a variety of industries here, okay? All of what I'm teaching you applies to whatever industry you are in. Muhammad Ali, he didn't become a heavyweight champion of the world by punching 20 different people in the face, right? He became the champ by hitting the same guy over 20 times until that guy fell down. It's another way of looking at permission-based marketing and the foundational bricks for your success. Again, you don't have to go a mile wide and have thousands of people in your database or in your email list or even on Facebook or LinkedIn. Start with these foundational bricks this week. We're going to master how you do it over 100 people, and then you can take it and run with it. One exercise I want to do and make sure, because this is really, really important to me, now that we have defined permission marketing, right? I want to go back to a little bit of the mindset because a lot of people self-sabotage themselves. Maybe you'll understand permission-based marketing. Yes, Lois, I get it. It's getting people into my list or my community, my tribe with their permission. They want my stuff. There's a mutual, collaborative agreement there. Even if it's not spoken, it's energetic. But how do you overcome some of the fear, right? How do you overcome the fear of rejection or just the fear of the unknown? Like I had that last year. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I saw a lot of people fill out the survey saying, yeah, I just don't know what to do in this new normal. I'm hurting. I need help, Lois. So Think and Grow Rich talks about vision and something coming from within. He even called it intuition. Some call it the third eye. My scientists, experts have said that we have a brain in our gut that connects with the brain in our heart and the brain in our head. And when they're all in alignment, there's something that voice inside of us that says, go for it. You can do it. I call that your vision. I call that your purpose on this planet being fully realized. Okay, so we're just going to take a couple minutes here, and you can, even if you want to, push pause and do some really quick writing here about, what is important to you. Now, your vision is the ability to see. It's your insight, your intuition of how something could be possible. I had a dream 4 years ago now to move back to Southern California. And man, did I go all out on that vision. I thought about it. I dreamt about it. I wrote about it. I listened to songs, Hotel California. I shared it with other people. And guess what? It happened almost to the day. I think we moved here like 30 days before I had set that intention, that deadline. And if you lose sight of that vision because of stress, because of circumstances, I get it. Trust me. I've been homeless before. But you are here for a purpose. You matter. What is your vision? What is your deepest hunger? There's a quote. I love this quote from philosopher Frederick Buechner. The place God calls you to is the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. And why is this important? Why you're like, Lois, what does this have to do with permission-based marketing? Well, here's the deal. If you're not clear on this, you're going to send that energy across to someone on Facebook or on Zoom or on LinkedIn. Right? And this course is not about necessarily vision writing to the nth degree. Go and read the book Think and Grow Rich if you want to do that. That's fantastic. But I want you to pick one personal and one professional goal. Where do you see yourself at the end of this year? At the time of this recording, it happens to be 2021. Where do you see yourself at the end of 2021? Pick one personal goal and one professional goal. One personal goal and one professional. Again, if you have to, hit the pause button. Allow me to get a drink really quick. What do you really want? Is it a mindset goal? Do you want to hire a coach this year? Do you want to meditate more this year? Do you want to contribute time, talents, or money this year? Improved health. Maybe it's a weight goal. Maybe you want to pay down your debt, right? This is the fuel that's going to drive your daily lead generation, guys. You cannot skip this. Make sure it's specific and measurable. And I always like to say at the beginning in an affirmative way, I am so happy and grateful that I weigh 155 pounds on or before December 31st, 2021. Or I am so happy and grateful I earn 5 figures a month by giving amazing value to my tribe on or before insert date. That's the professional side. What is your professional goal? Let's go there quick. Do you have a customer amount of people you want to serve? You want to have a certain amount of leads in your list or your database? Do you have an income goal? Make sure it's specific, how much, either per month or per year or per quarter. Don't skip this. This is critical. You got to begin with the end in mind. Write it out, make it visible every day. Maybe if you do vision boards, that's great, but it's even more powerful to write it out. I recorded it on my phone and I listen to it every day. That's actually where I started. That was when I really wanted to move back to California. And I was like, oh my God, how are we going to afford that? Oh my God, what are we going to do with, careers and kids and school? And we still made it happen. And we've been rewarded ever since. It just keeps getting better. So hopefully by now you have your personal and professional goal written down. Now, what has been holding you back? What has been holding you back? Is it your lack of maybe a lead generation strategy? Great, you're going to have that this week. Is it your fear of rejection or your fear of not making enough money, your fear or lack of sales? Or maybe you had a great year last year, but you hit a plateau. You're like, oh, how am I going to get to that next level of 5 figures and beyond per month? Maybe you lack consistency. Maybe you were like me and had a negative mindset around online sales or messaging. Write it down. What is holding you back? This is important, guys, because I have a way to help you move beyond that. Is it lack of support? Do you feel alone? Trust me, guys, I've been there, done all that. What will be your theme to move through that? Again, you can hit the pause button and write this down. I want to keep this recording as short as possible. What helped me last year was I had a theme or a mantra that every time I heard my mind say, you can't do it, you're not good enough, you can't make this happen, all of those kinds of things, right? I had a mantra, progress over perfection. And I added, this is my year of the comeback. And the cool thing was I set that before pandemic, before my brother died, before my mom died, before my friends committed suicide, before homeschooling pandemic style that I wasn't trained for. I don't know what happened for you last year. However, I'm offering hope and encouragement that this mantra, this theme that you set as your intention, is what's going to help you move through the fear and do it anyway. So write that down. What will be your drumbeat to move through the obstacles this year? I'm here to help you have the strategy, to encourage you and show you, mirror in front of your face of how awesome you are and what's possible. Again, last year it was progress over perfection, and the year of the comeback. For me this year, just to give you some other examples, massive collaboration and next level growth. Massive collaboration and next level growth. For me, I want to have another breakthrough, another awakening, which, oh, by the way, doesn't always feel great, right? However, I'm going to show you how you can have fun with your lead generation and how it doesn't have to be scary, right, guys? No one succeeds alone, and I'm here for you. I want to start closing it out here. We're almost done. We'll go over some key ideas over the next couple of days on the what to do to get people engaged, start the 100 leads, okay? The ultimate idea, you have to think about this, is also the time use. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Time is on your side, guys, if you choose to embrace it. Every day you want to be doing something, even one thing, to be building visibility and credibility and giving value. Are you giving value in your messaging? Write that down. Am I giving value? Because every day through permission-based selling and messaging and marketing, you're building trust. Every day you're inviting people, lead generation, okay? And if that scares you, good. I'm here to help you. Permission-based selling and marketing allows you to speak in front of your audience. So some of you may be overcoming some fears there. Maybe that's one of the things you wrote down that'll hold you back. If you have that mantra, progress over perfection, for example, or I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, along with your vision, right? The personal and professional vision that you have for yourself this year, that's going to be the fuel also to the fire, your why that drives you. You're going to be speaking directly to an audience. You're going to be coming alongside and offering up hope and inspiration. People are starving for leadership. They're looking for you. What you seek is seeking you. And permission-based marketing and selling to me is much more fun. If you buy leads or if you pay really, I've seen a lot of people lose thousands of dollars on Facebook ads. And I'm not saying they're bad. If you can do it and you've done it and you've had great success with a huge return and you're already at 5 figures a month, keep doing it, right? But there's that old saying. Do you remember, don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Do not walk in front of me, I may not follow. Walk beside me and be my friend who gives value. People feel when you care for them authentically. I found when I had leads that came in that weren't pre-qualified, that maybe didn't opt in some way, somehow, and they were cold, they unsubscribed or they left pretty quickly. And that was actually a good thing. But I just find that a lot of leads that are like that from those experiences of ads or purchases, it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall and trying to see what sticks. So we want long-term, meaningful, interactive relationships. No interruptives. Remember, everybody's online. Steve Jobs' quote says, if you don't have your business online, you're going to be out of business. So we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Let me go ahead and wrap it up what we're going to discuss tomorrow. We're going to be talking about finding your dream 100 or your 100 customers. We're going to focus on the who and who you really love to work with. Think about who your dream customer is. That's a call to action if you want to start writing that out. It's like when I found my husband or my home here in California, I wrote down my dream. I said, I want this, this, and this, and this, and this in that affirmation statement that I shared with you earlier. I am happy and grateful. I am so happy and grateful that, boom, my customers have money and they can hire me. They're, men or they're women or they're local or they're national. Think about that dream customer. Dream about them tonight. We're going to map that out tomorrow. So think about who they are. Where are they? We're going to talk about Facebook and LinkedIn primarily in this training, and building an email list or building a tribe. But even if you are into Clubhouse or if you're into Instagram or if you're into Pinterest, I'm not an expert on those. I really have done well with Facebook and LinkedIn. And keep in mind, I had a love-hate relationship with social media a year ago. I was like, I don't want to do it. But now I've embraced it and I found it to be fun and exciting. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. So here's your call to action for day, and I'm going to close with a story. So I definitely want you to write down and sit with your vision. Share it with me. Shoot me an email. I would love to read it. What's your personal and professional goal this year? This time of the recording happens to be 2021. So on or before December 31st. You can pick your own date. Some people have special dates. Maybe it's by your birthday or anniversary. Then I want you to start writing out, who do you want to serve? Like for me, I narrowed it to a lot of coaches, speakers, podcasters, and holistic healers. Those are my favorite people to serve because they're going to help me be an extension out there in the world and heal the sales community, all of those different people. Who do you want to serve? Is it a certain profession? How will you talk to them or where will you find them? I'll put this in the notes also, guys. Okay. And I want you to actually start your list of 100. Okay. And you're like, whoa, wait, we didn't cover that today, but here's the trick. Okay. Have you talked to everyone in your phone? Do they know what you're doing right now? So scroll through your phone and see, is there anyone you haven't talked to and maybe added to your list that could be a prospect? And a prospect doesn't have to be a customer. They could be a referral partner. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to think much bigger, much faster. That's why my theme is this year, massive collaboration. I'm focused on joint venture and building an affiliate army, right? So start looking at your phone, looking at your Facebook friends list. Start, who are you going to reach out to that might be on that top 100 leads list? I call it your dream 100. So I would think about the influencers on your list. I would think about, whether you have mayors, pastors, people, network marketing leaders, could even be childhood friends that you haven't reconnected with, but they're influencers, right? Meaning they have influence in other communities. That is where your dream customer hangs out, right? The average person knows 1,000 people. It's just we maybe haven't reached out to them yet because life got crazy in the past year. So let me close with a story. And first with a quote. Steve Jobs said, you have to be passionate because it's so hard that any rational person would give up. That's what I'm talking about this week. You have to have passion because having a business, being an entrepreneur is so hard that any rational person would give up. There's a lot of people that don't make it. They go back and get a job and a steady paycheck, right? So I love the Florence Chadwick story. If you haven't Googled it by now, because I've been telling it a lot lately, and it reminds me of passion, belief, commitment, and trusting the process and moving through the fear and going after the vision anyway. So Florence Chadwick, back in the 1950s, she had a goal. She had a vision. She was a world-class swimmer, and she wanted to get outside her comfort zone. You see a theme here. This all supports what I talked about today. And she wanted to be the first person to swim from the California coastline to Catalina Island, 26 miles. Now, I've swam 2.4 miles before, and dude, I can't even think about 26. But in the ocean, right, where there's all sorts of sharks and, you don't know what the weather's going to do. And I mean, the ocean can be scary. But she assembled her team. She trained. And on the day of her event, she went out with a support boat with her mom, her coach. Oh, by the way, she had people in there with shotguns who were shooting away at sharks, right? There's a great book from Harvey Mackay, as a side note, how to swim with the sharks without getting eaten alive. And sometimes social media feels like that, right? But she swam and she swam and she swam and she swam. And there were times she wanted to give up. Her team said, no, keep going. You have what it takes. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And a fog came in 15 hours in, and she couldn't see the shoreline anymore. And it was at that point she said, I give up. I'm exhausted. I'm cold. Every part of me aches. Mentally, she was done. And so even though they encouraged her, she said, no, please take me in to the boat. And they did. And it turns out, because she couldn't see the shoreline, the fog was so thick, they discovered later she was 1 mile from the shoreline. 1 mile. And through that process, you think she was a little upset. Yeah. She allowed her fear and lost sight of her vision, right? And she said, you know what? I want to try it again. I want to do it again. So a couple months later, she renewed her vision. She went out, had the same support boat, same thing. They shot at the sharks when they came close to her. Same exact thing happened. The fog rolled in. But this time, with renewed strength, vision, purpose, commitment, and trust, belief, desire, faith, all of the things I talked about today, guys. She finished, even when she couldn't see the shoreline. Her intuition, her belief, all of that kicked in. So I share that story just as we close to remind you that's like your journey right now with permission-based selling, lead generation, and sales. If you listen to everything I said today, and I know I wanted to keep it shorter and it ended up going longer because this is so important, you guys, so important. Get ready. This is going to change your life. This is an opportunity for you to commit, to believe, and to trust the process. So all of your homework, the call to action is in the show notes. Please show up inside of the Facebook community to get the goods, to get your questions answered. Until next time, guys, here's to your best health, your best wealth, your best vision, also known as your innate intuition and wisdom that I believe you all possess. And we'll see you on the next call. Bye-bye for now.